Do I have to change my name? Will it get me far? Should I lose some weight? Am I gonna be a star? My name? Will it get me far? Should I lose some weight? Am I gonna be a star? Will it get me far?
Tried to be a boy, I tried to be a girl, I tried to be a mess, I tried to be the best. I guess I did it wrong, that's why I wrote this song. This type of modern life, is it for me? This type of modern life, is it for free? So, I went into a bar, looking for sympathy, a little company. I tried to find a friend. It's more easily said, it's always been the same. This type of modern life is not for me. This type of modern life is not for free. Oh, American life, American life, I live the American dream, American dream. Oh, best thing I've seen, you are not just a dream, American life. I tried to stay ahead, I tried to stay on top, I tried to play the part, but somehow I forgot just what I did it for, and why I wanted more. This type of modern life, is it for me? This type of modern life, is it for free?
Do I have to change my name? Will it get me far? Should I lose some weight? Am I gonna be a star?
Tried to be a girl, tried to be a mess, tried to be the best, tried to find a friend, tried to stay ahead, tried to stay on top. Fuck it.
Do I have to change my name? Will it get me far? Should I lose some weight? Am I gonna be a star?
Fuck it. I get a double shot it goes right through my body and you know I'm satisfied. I drive my Mini Cooper and I'm feeling super duper. You they tell me I'm a trooper and you know I'm satisfied. I do yoga and Pilates and the room is full of hotties, so I'm checking out the bodies and you know I'm satisfied. I'm digging on the acid poop, this metaphysics shit is dope, and if all this can give me hope, you know I'm satisfied. I got a lawyer and a manager, an agent and a chef, 3 nannies, an assistant and a driver and a jet, a trainer and a butler and a bodyguard of 5, a gardener and a stylist. Do you think I'm satisfied? I'd like to express my extreme point of view. I'm not a Christian and I'm not a Jew. I'm just living out the American dream, and I just realized that nothing is what it seems.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Off Limits Show. It's Saturday, July the 4th. Happy Independence Day. Yay, America, the great, the beautiful. Yay. Welcome to the show. So we are celebrating July the 4th. It is our wonderful Independence Day. And I wanted to actually had a little political discussion tonight, and I wanted to play that for you with Amy Peikoff. She has she's kind of a she is a libertarian. She has a show, and I wanted to call into her show. We talked about some gay issues she had. She actually entitled her show something about to the effect of, is the gay agenda over, or is the gay agenda going to morph into something else? Is it really about equality, or is it about having more power? Something kind of pissed me off a little bit. So I thought I would call in, and I did, and we talked about it. So we had a pretty good discussion about this, and also about politics in general, political philosophy. So I thought I would we'd go over that tonight on the show, and also to talk about a few things like we always do on the show. But I wanted to also discuss the gay marriage aftermath, a little bit about that. But it's going to be a short show. Just wanted to go over this briefly. And I'm back with a full show on Tuesday, actually, with a couple of co-hosts. We're going to talk about a few things. I'm trying to kind of morph into back into what the show once was in terms of having guest hosts and guests talking with me, because it's always much more fun when I can talk to someone than sit here rambling on by myself. Of course, you know you love it, but anyway. So I'm gonna bring them on for the gay mass shows only, and then the off limits shows I'll still do myself. But I wanted to change it up just a little bit. But in the interim, by the way, if you've never heard my show before, you can always go to offlimitshow.com. You can hear the show live there when the show is on the air, by going to offlimitshow.com, clicking on listen live when the show is broadcasting. I always put a tweet out and Facebook and whatever I can, and groups and things on Facebook as well about the show when it's starting. So you'll always know if you're on Twitter. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Off Limits Show. Also on Facebook, Off Limits Radio, Off Limits Show. I think both of those. And then also you can listen to the show on podcast at iTunes. And I'm on iHeartRadio as well if you want to hear the edited version, because they're very strict about what can and cannot be put on the air. But if you want to hear the edited version of the show, or if you're part of or a member already of iHeartRadio or iHeart.com, you can go there and listen to the show. Be sure to go to Spreaker.com also to listen to the show there in its full entirety. So anyway, let me go ahead and let's play my discussion with her. It's about 30 minutes long, and then we'll discuss it. I'll be right back. Well, maybe not. Hold on a second. I'm not sure what. Oh, I know what I did. Sorry. Volume would be good. Okay, here we go. Be right back after this. I thought I would call in.
Sure. So in terms of my perspective, I am for same-sex marriage, but I'm against the government prohibiting private discrimination against same-sex couples. So it's sort of what you might call the libertarian position. So I think, for example, the baker should be able to say, no, I'd rather not bake the cake.
Okay. Yeah. And I kind of agree with you to some extent. Let me say this. I think that gay people should be able to have all the same rights as everyone else. And I'm gay, so we should have the same rights as everyone else, in my opinion. But I do think that when it comes to dictating whether a baker, for example, makes a cake, or a stationary person wants to make wedding invitations or not for a gay couple or not, that's up to them. I don't really care if they want to or not. I wouldn't want to patronize a place that didn't want me as a client anyway. So
yeah, there's always been that joke. It's like, okay, here's the cake that you forced me to bake. I hope you enjoy it. It would be a terrible cake, right? Now, just to be clear, I would never myself discriminate against same-sex couples if I was offering one of these services. And I think it would be bad to do so. And I'm all for, calling out as bad people who would discriminate against same-sex couples and stuff. But I just don't think the government should force, and I certainly don't think somebody who doesn't bake a cake should get a $130,000 fine for not doing it.
I agree with you. I mean, I do. I think it was ridiculous that they were forced to. It's just like, for me, for example, if I had a bakery, for example, and there were some right-winged Republican who wanted me to put the Confederate flag on a cake, and hey, I hate gays, I hate fags, whatever, I wouldn't want to do it, and then I would be subjected to the same kind of punishment. I don't think so. So
right.
I don't think it's right either way. I agree with you on that fact. Yeah, I do.
Okay, so actually we agree more than you initially thought when you first got into our chat room over here.
On that, I do. But you did say something about the LGBT movement, whether it's a movement or isn't a movement or something. Can you reiterate what you were saying?
Yeah, so the idea is, do all the people in those four categories really have that much in common? And actually, to take it even a step further, the next article that I have basically talks about how marriage isn't really the whole thing, that what it's about. And it goes on to basically unify all LGBT people within a broader progressive political movement, and starts urging that, we all unite with immigrants and these other groups for so-called social justice, and socialized everything, including preschool all the way up through college, and socialized medicine and everything else. And that really it's just one step towards the broader social justice agenda. And I don't know that you would want to lump everybody who has, certain sexual orientation into that sort of political group.
I don't know what specific article you're referring to because I haven't read it. But
I'll tell you real quick. It's and actually all the articles that we talk about I have over at the blog at don'tletitgo.com, so you can check out everything that I got over there. And this article is from thenation.com, and the headline is "What's next for the LGBT movement?"
Mm-hmm. And I think that what my sentiment from what you're telling me anyway, what I think the meaning of that is different than what I hear you saying. What I hear you saying is it's as if that gay community has all along had some agenda, that we had a bigger, broader agenda all along, and this is just part of it, and we still have these other things we want to lop ourselves onto. And in some degree that's true, but I think what it's really saying, or what I feel anyway to be the truth, is that the gay community, one of the biggest milestones of our fight for equality has been gay marriage, obviously. Since we've overcome that obstacle, we've achieved it now. What's next for us? And I don't think it means that we're not trying to still have the same ideology in terms of what we want to accomplish. But I mean, we have other things, people who've helped us in our journey for equality in this realm, and we want to help them as well, whether it's with people who are, feminists, or with immigrants, or whatever it might be. So we're saying we want to help. I think what it's saying, and this is what I feel, is that we want to help other causes achieve success as well. It's not necessarily becoming the same thing and melding into one. It's just that we want to use our clout and our power to also help other people who've helped us along the way. That's what I see.
Well, so for instance, if you were talking about helping feminists, what would you try to help them do?
Well, and feminism is, a broad term, I think, but everyone thinks of it differently. But I think that feminism basically just means equality for women on the same level as men in every respect. So, for example, having the same pay, 70 cents on the dollar, whatever it is.
So then basically you would say, go ahead and force an employer to pay a woman the same if you happen to be a government bureaucrat who doesn't see why the woman doesn't have the same qualifications as a man in a particular situation. Is that the idea?
No. A woman should be paid the same as a man for the same job with the same qualifications. So
but that's the thing. I mean, there's no two people who are ever exactly the same. So then who makes that judgment?
The person that makes the judgment is the person who's hiring them, the HR department. They say, well, we have a woman. Let's say we have Jane and we have John next to each other.
Right.
John and Jane both went to similar Ivy League schools. John and Jane both have similar backgrounds in terms of what they've accomplished in terms of their career. They have the same number of years, et cetera. They know the same software, whatever they do. And so you can pair them in that way. And I'm not saying, obviously, no one is exact. You're absolutely right. But you have a disparity